Hello and welcome to today's video. What we're going to take a look at is how to sum when matching on row and column. Now in this example, we want to sum where our product range is equal to the selected product and our month is equal to selected month. So the first thing that comes to mind is SUMIFS. But when we're dealing with row and column criteria, it won't work. Let's take a look at some options. We can do a sum wrapped around an if condition. So the first set of brackets is our row criteria. So where our product range is equal to our selected product. And the second set of brackets is our column criteria. So where our header range is equal to the selected month. Since we want to AND these two criteria together, we use the asterisk. Now where there is a match, we want to return the corresponding cell within the data range, which is defined here as being all the cells underneath the header. And where there isn't a match, we want to return 0. So essentially we'll have an array of zeros or the value. And you can see this by selecting the entire if condition and pressing F9. Here you can see all the zeros for non-match and the two values where we have a match. And the sum will add them all together. So just press escape to get out of that. Now if you wanted to do an OR condition, so for example, product range equals to product 1 or product 2, you could do that by using the plus operator. So we select our product range equal to first product, close the bracket, plus, and then we repeat that, but we select the second product. I'll assume it's in E4 here. And then we AND it with our column criteria equal to the month. Now, because of order of operations, in this case it would do the second row criteria ANDed with the column criteria first, but we don't want that. So we put a set of brackets around the two row conditions, and then it will AND them together. And where that's true, we want to return our data range, and where it's false, we want to return 0. If I add a second product into E4, as you can see, it's included the values for that one too. Now another alternative is to use sum wrapped around nested filters. So the inner filter will take the entire data range and return only the rows where the product range is equal to the selected product. Now we can't AND this to the column criteria, it won't work. So instead, we return the matching rows to the outer filter. So essentially those matching rows become the data range for the outer filter. And it will filter those rows on column headers equal to the selected month. Now unlike the sum if, which returns zeros or the value, this only returns values for the matching cells. We can see that by selecting the entire condition and F9, and you can see. And then sum will add them together. But we get the same result. The third option is to use sum product. And that is similar to the sum if condition we used above. We've got our row condition times our column condition. And then here is our data range. Now this will return zeros or ones. So zeros for non-matching cells and ones where they do match. And then it will multiply the corresponding cells in our data range by the 0 or the 1. So effectively giving us zeros or the value. And then they get added together. Now, if we were to add another product 2 row here, as you can see, it hasn't changed the totals. And that's because our formulas have hard-coded ranges in them, and we'd have to come here and manually adjust each one. So it's not flexible. One solution is to put your data inside a table, as I've done here. And the formulas have the same structure, except instead of using the product range where we select the from and to, we use table syntax. So you essentially just select your product range as you normally would do, but Excel will put in the table syntax instead of the from and to cell addresses. And we do the same with our header range and our data, but the formula stays the same. Likewise for our nested filters, our data range, our product range, and our header range. And again, with the sum product, we have our product range, header range, and our data. So if I were to now add a new row, Queensland, and we'll just add random numbers, you can see our total for February has increased by 22, which is correct. If I were to add another month, we'll just make it simple. You can see that once I select April, it automatically picks it up. So this is quite flexible and automatically updates without having to modify any formulas. Of course, if your data comes from another system in a CSV format or a different format such as another workbook, then you'll need to modify or convert your data into a table, and it might not be an ideal solution for you. So another option here, instead of using tables, is to use dynamic named ranges. Now, I'll be posting another video on that. It should be coming out shortly, so please keep an eye out for that one. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this one. I hope you found this useful. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.